Hello, I'm SquidofLove, welcome back. Today we are going to take a look at Keelback, an armed freighter based on the Type 6 transporter design. We are going to take a look at its stats and its capabilities, and of course we are also going to compare it with a Type 6 transporter in order to see how good this ship is. With a quick look in the interior, we can very easily realize that this is the typical Lakon cockpit, very similar, if not identical, to the cockpit of the other Lakon ships. And it's not only good to perform the role the Keelback has, which is an armed freighter, but since the visibility is very good, it can also work for sightseeing and exploration purposes. The Keelback is supposed to be a combat trader hybrid based on the Type 6 transporter design, and its cost is at around 3.048 million credits. It's lower than the Type 6 transporter, with its normal speed going up to 202 meters per second, while its boost speed can go up to 303 meters per second, and is also less agile with the maneuverability at level 2. It has slightly better defenses, with the shields at 80 and armor at 198, but what makes the Keelback unique is its ability to carry a fighter bay when this feature will be implemented in the game. When you first buy the Keelback, it has an available power of 10.4, a cargo capacity of 38 tons, and a jump range, an okay jump range at 10.94 light years and 9.48 light years laden with this certain loadout. It can take a Class 4 power plant thrusters and frameshift drive, a Class 1 only life support, a Class 3 power distributor, and a Class 2 sensors. And the main difference it has from the Type 6 transporter is that its power plant is one class higher than the Type 6, while its life support is one class lower than the Type 6. Everything else is identical. Even the fuel tank, they have the same capacity of 16. Now, as for the internal compartments, the Keelback has 6 internal compartments, of which 2 class 5, 2 class 3 and 2 class 2, one less than the Type 6 transporter. As for the hardpoints, the Keelback has 4 hardpoints, 2 medium and 2 small, 2 more hardpoints than the Type 6 transporter, which only has 2 small hardpoints, and 3 utility mounts, the same as the Type 6 transporter. Now let's go ahead, equip it with the best available modules and see how much better its stats will be. With the best modules equipped, the Keelback has an available power of 15.6, more power than the Type 6 transporter, and this is also logical since it has more hardpoints and more weapons that you can equip and use, and a very good jump range at 25.45 light years, which is quite decent, and it could be used for long range traveling, for long range trading. We will find out very soon. First, let's see what is the maximum cargo capacity of the Keelback and compare it with the Type 6 transporter. With only cargo racks equipped, the Keelback has a cargo capacity of 88 tons, and if we equip it with the lowest class of shield generator it can be equipped with, then we will have a maximum cargo capacity of 80 tons and the protection of an A3 shield generator. Not bad. Also, the laden jump range with this loadout is at 18.53 light years, which is quite good if you have to travel far away, for example for air goods trading. The Type 6 now, with only cargo racks equipped, has a cargo capacity of 112 tons, much better than the Keelback, and if we equip it with an A3 shield generator like the Keelback has, we can still have 104 tons of cargo capacity. More cargo capacity, which means more profit, and from a ship that is much cheaper than the Keelback. It seems like the Keelback is not the best option if you are only interested in trading. The Type 6 transporter remains a much better solution. The fact though that the Keelback has 2 medium hardpoints means that it can be more useful in mining than the Type 6 transporter, and this is because it can take 2 medium mining lasers and of course 2 more weapons and a lot of defensive modules in the utility mounts to help protect yourself from pirates, and still have a refinery with up to 6 bins, a collector limber controller and 72 tons of cargo capacity. So the Keelback might be a very nice option for some fast mining. It is also very important to take a look at the long-range capabilities of the Keelback, and this is mainly because as an armed freighter sometimes you will have to travel far away, not only to find a trade route but also if you want to trade in rare goods, and this is what we are gonna take a look at the moment, rare goods trading. If we equip it with cargo racks, a fuel scoop, because it's quite necessary and essential to have a fuel scoop when you are dealing with rare goods, because you will have to travel far away, but in general when you want to travel somewhere far away, a shield generator of D3 for some protection, and everything else except the frame seat drive downgraded, then our Keelback has a maximum cargo capacity of 70 tons, which is not that bad, it's not great either, and a very good laden jump range at 20.21 light years. So yes, it can perform as a rare goods trader, but the lack of cargo might be problematic. The Type 6 now with a similar loadout, cargo racks, an A4 fuel scoop, a better fuel scoop than the Keelback, and a D3 shield generator has a maximum cargo capacity of 88 tons, 18 tons more than the Keelback, and a slightly better jump range at 20.76 light years, laden jump range. So that means that the Type 6 might be a better option for rare goods trading, and you can always downgrade the fuel scoop to an A2 and gain more cargo capacity. This means that you will have more profit from rare goods trading using a Type 6 over a Keelback. Of course, both of these vessels are inferior to the Asp Explorer for rare goods trading. Although the Keelback was not designed as an exploration vessel, it has enough internal compartments to equip all the necessary modules for exploration, like the two required scanners, the detailed surface scanner and the advanced discovery scanner, a shield generator of D3 for some protection, a planetary vehicle hangar if you want to land on a planet, an autofill maintenance unit, and an A5 fuel scoop. And with everything downgraded except the frame seat drive, couple of lasers, gimbal class 1 pulse lasers for extra protection, and heatsink launchers, then the jump range of the Keelback is at 24.70 light years, which is quite good, not the best in the game, but very good if you want to travel around and perform some exploration. And you could even replace one of these modules, such as the planetary vehicle hangar or the shield generator for a cargo rack, and try to find interesting items or try to gain some money from trading in a far away outpost. And its capabilities are very similar to the exploration capabilities of the Type 6 transporter, since it has a similar jump range at 25.35 light years, but the main difference is that it can be equipped with a planetary vehicle hangar with 2 vehicle slots and 1 cargo rack with capacity 16 all the time because of the 1 extra internal compartment it has over the Keelback. Another difference is the fact that you are somewhat forced to use an A3 power plant on the Type 6 transporter in order to compensate for the power needed not only for all the modules necessary for exploration, but also the weapons and the heatsink launchers that you will be carrying. But that's not a real problem. You will still have better jump range and more options when you're traveling out there with a Type 6 transporter. Obviously there are much better ships than both of these two vessels for exploration, and again I'm going to say the Asp Explorer. We have seen the capabilities of the Keelback in pretty much every activity in Elite Dangerous except combat so far, and I can't really recommend for anything else except mining, maybe, but even then there are better vessels that can do mining much faster and easier for you. This is supposed to be an armed freighter and it is not supposed to be a combat vessel, so it's not a good idea to take it out for bounty hunting, but we are gonna go out, try to find some targets to shoot at and see what are its capabilities. The defensive capabilities of the Keelback are not full in the game, and this is because the fighter bases are not implemented yet in the game. What we have now, the 4 hard points and the defensive modules that we can add, have one purpose: to keep you alive and protect you and your cargo if you are under attack while you're traveling, while you're doing trading. Anyway, we are gonna give it a combat loadout as good as we can and try to see if we can take down some other vessels. I have chosen 2 turrets, pulse laser turrets, and 2 gimbal pulse lasers. The maneuverability is very low. I can't see easy to use fixed weapons. I think gimbals and turrets are the best option for this vessel. A chaff launcher, 2 shield boosters, 1 A0 and 1 D0 to manage the power, the best shield generator of A5, a shield bank of A2, and everything else has reinforcement packages. Again, this is not the best loadout for a ship like the Keelback. You should equip it with cargo racks, some defense modules, some weapons, and try to do trading, not bounty hunting. And the maneuverability is not going to be the only problem with the Keelback. Speed is also quite slow. Let's find out how slow it is. Normal speed is at around 212, and if we boost, it will go up to 303? 314.
Scan detected.
It's very, very slow. 316. Still very slow. Since our capabilities are a bit limited as far as combat goes, we can only go after certain enemies. So for example, let's try to kill. Let's not try to kill anything. We are under attack by something. By a cobra. Perfect. Let's turn around.
Under attack.
Let's try to destroy this cobra if we can.
Warning, temperature critical. Flight assist off. Flight assist on.
It's very hard even to fight against the cobra. Let's put more power on our weapons and do our best. Our turrets are firing. Let's get in there.
Scan detected.
The fighter bay will have been very useful, but since we don't have it, even a fight with a cobra is dangerous, is hard. Let's use a shield cell. If the AI was a bit smarter, we would have been dead. Definitely not a good ship for combat. And it's quite hard to defend yourself with these capabilities, with this power, with these weapons. Turrets are good to distract your enemies, to give you some time to go away, but that's all what you can do with the Keelback as far as combat goes. Just buy some time to get out of a nice situation.
Target shields online. Target shields offline.
I'm gonna use another shield cell, or else we're gonna lose our shields. If we lose our shield, we're gonna have a problem.
Target shields online.
It's very difficult to fight against more maneuver and faster ships. And of course,
Target
this
shields
Cobra,
offline.
if that was a player, he could have just fly away and return to finish us whenever he wanted.
Target shields online.
And you will have noticed that we are constantly out of power. Trying to balance power between engine shields and weapons all the time to make the most out of this ship.
Shields offline.
Well, it's gonna die,
Under attack.
but that took a while, and if it had the body, it would have been dead. So
Target destroyed.
the Keelback is a big no for combat and bounty hunting. It's not a good ship. It won't keep you alive. Maybe it will buy you some time, enough time to get out of an attack, but that's pretty much all it can do. Its combat capabilities will become a lot better when the fighter bases are in the game, but for now the Keelback should be avoided for pretty much everything in the game. Maybe it's a decent option for some mining, but again there are much better options, much better vessels, not only for mining but for every activity in the game than the Keelback. And of course I wouldn't even think about piracy with the Keelback, since it's slow and it can hardly stand its ground on a fight. Thank you very much for joining me and watching this video. I'm SquidofLove and I will see you next time. Bye bye.